The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mohsen Zia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamohsenzia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia Mohsen Zia.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mohsen Zia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamohsenzia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia Mohsen Zia.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960 or 1-800-303-3960 or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Mohsen Zia of No Time for Love called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon or the retailers, available on all formats today. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com and can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalayan, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with the very, very, very wonderfully multi-talented gentleman who's the star of the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, also the CEO of World Star PR and Director of Operations for the Spectrum Music Group, and also the creator of Jimmy Star Designs, and he appeared in John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, Stardust, And also, as we mentioned, he's a host of Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, very popular all over the internet. Also, author of Charlie Chaplin's Silent Icon, and contributed to Secrets of Social Media Success in one of the books as well. So this guy knows how to stay busy and loves what to do. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plush Studio somewhere on the West Coast, the very, very multi-talented and one of the best in the business. He is the star of the show, and by Jimmy, he knows what he's doing. Jimmy Star. Jimmy, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh,
what a cool intro and all the platforms and everything you got it going on.
Well, you're the one that makes it happen, Jimmy. I got to say that. I mean, you are the king of cool. I got to say that. So I've got a while to ways to catch up with you. So it's like I'm still a young pup compared to you, Jimmy. So
But you know what? I actually came into podcasting before anybody ever was before it was even called podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going on the beginning of my 15th year.
Wow.
So I've been doing podcasting for 15 years when it didn't even have a name. And it was just internet radio, and then you put it on iTunes, but nobody called it anything. You didn't have Apple Podcasts and all that. It was just like, hey, my show's on iTunes and stuff. So it's really changed a lot over the years, and I think I'm on about 150 platforms maybe, but I'm on all the ones you're on, and those are all the best ones because I'm on a lot of platforms that aren't that big,
Mm-hmm.
But like you're on all the ones that you're on, they're all the big ones. They're the best ones to be on, and so I think kudos to you and kudos to me too.
Well, I'm saying I'm saying kudos to you. It's just like I'm just about 1/5 of the way, so it's like I don't need to do the math. No Common Core involved. I mean, 150 platforms to 30. Yeah, it's like I've got a while ways, but you've been a great inspiration, and of course a very impressive resume. Besides being on Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, all CEO of World Star PR, director of operations for the Spectrum Music Group, also creator of Jimmy Star Designs. You appeared in John Wick Chapter 3, and also author of Charlie Chaplin, Silent Icon. I mean, just a lot more. And before we get into all that, a very impressive resume. Tell us how I first got started, Jimmy.
Wait, say that again? What did you want me to do?
No, tell us how you first got started.
Oh, okay. So, actually, I was a celebrity clothing designer. So I can't really sing, and I love the music industry. When I was a kid, I could sing. But then something happened and I got stage fright and I could no longer really sing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But I love entertainment. I always wanted to be in the entertainment industry. And I always wanted to be a clothing designer. So I was a very successful clothing designer, and that brought me into the film industry and music industry because I dressed all kinds of really famous people. I dressed Elton John, and I did costume design for Too Fast, Too Furious, and I had a big showroom. I had 2 showrooms in Florida.
Wow.
And sold all my clothes, and it was very successful. All kinds of superstars shopped there. I like horror movies, and so I dressed almost every major horror movie star, and I just had a really good time, doing it. And that's kind of like how I broke into entertainment, was through the clothing industry.
Mm-hmm.
I had been acting since 1977, so since I was a kid, I've been in movies. And it's something I always liked, but I'm really not a good actor. I'm in a ton of movies, but I'm not any good.
I'd say better than most of us. I have to say that it's like better than most of us, and there are some actors, but they couldn't even get through. So you are very fortunate. I got to say that. So, and very successful.
Well, I you know what it is? People put me in movies not because I'm a good actor, but because I'm a good promoter.
Mm-hmm.
And they know if they put me in the movie, then I'm going to promote it. And so because I was just on Wikipedia yesterday, looking at my Wikipedia, and there's a new article that somehow got attached to my Wikipedia, and it is the 14 actors who've been in the most billion-dollar movies, and I was like number 4 on the list. Number
4? How did you get in there?
I'm behind Robert Downey Jr. and Samuel Jackson, and there's somebody else, and I think it's me out of the top. So out of all the actors in the world, there's 12 of them that have been in the most billion-dollar movies, and I'm one of them.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. Are you sure Snakes on a Plane is not one of them?
Yes, I'm sure, but I love that movie.
Everybody jokes about that Snakes on a Plane, but I have to say this, is that it may be the most panned movie, but I'm still curious about that. It's like, how do you get snakes on the plane? I guess that's a big question, and I'm sure my boys would love to watch that movie.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie. It's fun.
Uh-huh. And of course, going back to the clothing industry as well, too, and who are some of your favorite fashion designers growing up?
Vivian Westwood was probably like my favorite. Gianni Versace. I like Calvin Klein a lot, even though he was kind of like simple. Alexander McQueen, Tom Ford, who is the person who revamped Gucci. Those are probably like my biggest ones. Probably Versace was one of the biggest ones, because I was actually on a trip in Turkey when I found out that he died, and I was devastated because I'm from South Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I was born in South Florida. I used to hang out and eat at the same restaurants and stuff that he ate and everything. And so he was kind of like an icon for me. So I was very upset when he died.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't die. When he was murdered, I guess I should say, because he didn't die. He was killed.
Or you can say he left Earth somewhat too soon, wrong time, or
yes.
Whatever it is. It's like somebody said, "Come on, you're coming home. You may not like it, but you're going now." So it's that type of thing. So, and of course, you've also been in movies as well too. And who are some of your favorite actors, singers, and musicians growing up?
It's going to sound like hokey. I'm a huge fan of the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I was a huge Barry Manilow fan because I like to sing along to the music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of, like, in the 80s, Peter Cetera, Chicago, Glass Tiger,
Mm-hmm.
Who I actually have coming on my show tomorrow.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
Let's see. I almost have to look in my iPad. Like, I like anybody who can actually sing. So and a lot of I like Buck Cherry for a rock band. I like Buck Cherry, Aerosmith, Queen. Actors. My favorite actor of all time has always been Lance Henriksen for some reason, and he's really more of like a B actor, but he's in a zillion movies, and he's got a bunch of really big ones. But he's really, because he was like kind of like a friend of mine. Malcolm McDowell was a big influence for me. I liked a lot. Doug Bradley, who played Pinhead. Most of my favorite actors are horror movie actors.
Mm-hmm.
Because I like horror movies.
Mm-hmm. And also, what are some of your favorite movies growing up?
The Lost Boys.
Lost Boys.
The Lost Boys is my all-time favorite movie. I was very good friends with Corey Haim before he died, and I was good friends with Brooke McCarter, who played Paul in The Lost Boys. He died a couple of years ago, but I was really good friends with both of them, and I've made a couple movies with Corey Feldman.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that the Lost Boys is a huge one. Another movies I like a lot. And I was old when they came out, but I just like them anyway, and that's all the Mighty Duck movies.
Mighty Ducks, oh my gosh, and I think that got a lot of kids into hockey, especially my boys for a brief time. And of course, when it comes to hockey, some kids, took up hockey because they watched the Mighty Ducks. And for myself, I took up hockey because I watched Slapshot, and before that, my dad took me to Chicago Blackhawks games. My God, going back to 1974 when Stan Mikita was like the god of Chicago hockey. I like that.
My favorite hockey movie was Youngblood. Did you ever see Youngblood with Rob Lowe?
Oh, something? I have not, but I'll put it on my bucket list, and I'll let you know how it goes. So
actually, it's a really old movie, but it's one of my favorite ones. I love hockey movies. I also love Mystery Alaska.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which is a good one. I love sport. It's so funny because I would never go and probably watch a hockey game, but I love to watch. Oh, you know what else I also liked a lot? The movie with Kurt Russell, where he's the coach of the United States hockey Olympic team that beats the Russians. I forgot what the name of that movie is, but it was a really good movie.
What was that? Miracle on Ice?
Yeah, I think it's Miracle
on Ice. I remember watching that. Yeah, I remember watching that. And, of course, back in 1980, I'm dating myself, in high school and everything. I remember watching the actual Miracle on Ice itself. We had that.
It actually happened, yeah.
Yeah, and that guy, Uruzoni, who was the captain of the team, scored the game-winning goal. And he ended up playing briefly for the New York Rangers. And their goalie, Jim Craig, who saved the game and fight off a last-second flurry by the Russians, signed with the Bruins, play a couple of games. And, those guys are just humble as heck. And, of course,
I love that movie. I think that movie is so much fun. I don't know why I like sports movies, because I'm a big fan of the movie Invincible, too, with Mark Wahlberg, which is like a football film.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like it a lot, and I always liked there's another movie where Keanu Reeves is a quarterback, and the football players go on strike, so they bring in all these other people to play. football, and then he's the quarterback for the on-strike football team. I forgot the name of the movie, but it's a great movie. I watch it. I've seen it like 20 times.
I think I know what you're talking about, and then he gets really cocky, and then the offensive line just says, oh, hell with it, let the defensive line go through and take him down. It's like, I'm trying to think, it's like, was like that movie of the fictitious team was it the Miami Sharks or something? Was that the one I'm thinking of?
No,
okay.
It's a different one.
Different one, okay.
I'll look it up as we're like going, but it's a really good film, and he's the good guy that win it, so he doesn't get cocky. All the actual players that are the real players who are on strike, they're the ones who get all cocky.
Oh, it does. Okay. All right. I almost got the two crossed up, but I think I know what you're talking about. I think one of my favorite funnier football movies, obviously The Longest Yard with Burt Reynolds. That is a classic. Movie. Yeah. I still remember the part where either Burt Reynolds nails somebody or he gets nailed and someone says, I think I broke my freaking neck. He thinks he broke his freaking neck. We think he broke his freaking neck. They think they broke his freaking neck. It's like one person, few people, and several, and the whole crowd all said it. It was just, I was like so memorable. I gotta say that. I think I broke his freaking neck.
So the movie was called The Replacements with Keanu Reeves and Gene Hackman.
That was the one. Okay.
It was a great movie. And then I have a Burt Reynolds story because I was actually friends with Burt Reynolds.
Really?
I went to school. I went to Forest Hill High School in West Palm Beach, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And our football coach was Burt Reynolds' brother, and I was really good friend with the football coach's son. And Burt Reynolds used to come out and hang out there at lunchtime on the bleachers with all of us, and we would like hang out with him and stuff. And then my dad worked for the airlines. My dad worked for the airlines and used to dealt the airlines, and he used to do all kinds of stuff for the airlines when he was dating Sally Field.
Wow.
So I've met Burt Reynolds a million times and hung out with him a million times. It's so funny because back then we didn't take pictures of things, so I don't have any pictures of it, but Burt Reynolds was a great talent.
Mm-hmm. And of course, imagine doing social media on Polaroids, the 110s, was it like the 126s, 35 millimeter? Could you imagine social media back then? It's like, yeah, can you take this 35 millimeter picture and try to put it on my Facebook or Polaroid on Instagram?
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh, I think that'd be too funny. And not only you had some favorite films, you also been in John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum, and also Stardust, and I think you've been in some others. And maybe tell us about those couple as well too, according to IMDb.
Oh, I got better. First of all, I'm in all the John Wick movies, so I'm in all three of them, 1, 2, and 3. My favorite films actually. I just shot a horror movie called Clown Motel 2, but I only have a cameo in it. But some of the bigger things that I've been in, hang on, I'm having my IMDb open up because I've been in a ton of. I'm also a movie producer, so I have a bunch of movies that are in production right now that we're working on trying to get financing for.
Oh yes, that's right. We need to talk about that and your movie venture. So I guess since we're on that subject, go ahead about movie venture and what you're looking for. I think we got some potential movie buffs out there. It's like, I like to do that.
I'm in the new Batman that's coming out. I'm in The Witches, which is on HBO Max right now. I'm in Tenet. I'm in. Let's see. I'm in Star Wars Episode 9.
Wow.
I'm in Joker. I'm in Aquaman. I'm in Justice League. I'm in Blade Runner. I'm in a whole Suicide Squad, X-Men. I'm in a whole bunch of them. But then the projects I'm working on. So basically, like I produce films, which means I find the investors and hire the actors and put everything together and come out with a finished, movie for you to watch on Netflix or in the movie theaters. And I've got about I've got like 26 projects, but I have 4 of them that are in development, like ready to go. We're just working on money, and the budgets range from like $1 million to $4 million. And I look for investors, $100,000 increments because it has to be at least $100,000. And investors, have to be accredited. They have to fill out like documents, basically showing that. Like if you give me $100,000 for your movie, you're not going to be like on food stamps then because you gave me all your money.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, I'm sure there's people out there on food stamps are willing to give $100,000 because they really don't need the money or like, heck, we don't want the money. Money doesn't mean a bloody thing to them. It's like there are some people who are like that. It's like, here you go. It's like I want $1 million, but I really don't care. Those type of people. So, I mean,
I think there are. I haven't found those people yet, but I sure would like to because that would be like super terrific. But it's a challenge, and it's like everything that you do and I do. Everything's a challenge. To get the money for the movies is challenging, and to hire the best actors that you can hire is challenging. And everything though. It's just like your show, to get your show more popular and to get more people to listen to it. Everything's a challenge. So, I'm up for the challenge of anything. Anything I stick my mind to, I'm usually pretty okay at. Sometimes it takes, some time. You got to go through your learning curve and learn how to do it. But I'm pretty, I'm pretty solid at anything I try to do. I'm usually pretty okay at it.
Mm-hmm. And I think you're doing a really good job. And, of course, we'll talk about some of your other ventures as well, too, including, let's see. Let's try to pick here. Let's see. You got a book out. You also got World Star and also Jimmy Star Show. But, well, I guess we'll just spin the wheel. But first, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today, 1-800-303-3960 or 1-800-303-3960. And that is 1-800-303-3960 or email to support at sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Motion Zia of No Time for Love called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love will be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com and on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with the multi-talented, and he is also the host of the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, CEO of World Star PR, Director of Operations for Spectrum Music Group, also creator of Jimmy Star Designs, and also author of Charlie Chan's Silent Icon here on the Mike Wagner Show. And, of course, while the wheel, unfortunately, was malfunctioning, and we'll just have to take a dart, and we'll just pick and choose and throw which one. And, you know what? It just landed on you talking about the author of Charlie Chaplin, The Silent Icon. Tell us about the book.
So basically, like I was producing a documentary, and I had to write the documentary. And in order to write the documentary, I just thought if I was going to do a documentary, I'd also do a book. So I wrote a book about it. I've written a bunch of books, and then some of them I turned into bigger books, and then some of them I decided to take down. So I'm repackaging them all. But basically, it's all about the life of Charlie Chaplin. Charlie Chaplin was a very fascinating entertainment personality, and he was one of the first big movie star millionaires. Mm-hmm. And so I wrote the book. It's a fabulous book. It's on iTunes. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. And then I also wrote another book on how to be successful in social media, which I only wrote a chapter. It's a book of all these leaders from big companies, mm-hmm. and they asked me to write a chapter and contribute a chapter for it. And so I contributed the chapter on how to. I was looking for a copy of the book so I can figure. I did how to be successful in social media, primarily Twitter, because Twitter is where my my forte is really good. It's called The Change: Insights into Self-Empowerment. Top co-authors share life-enhancing realizations that will touch every area of your life, and mine is all about social media.
Wow, that is fascinating. And how'd you get first interested in Charlie Chaplin?
You know what? My spouse, Ron Russell, from the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, he's a big, Turner Classic Movie kind of guy. He was friends with most of the movie stars from the era, mm-hmm. and from the 50s and 40s and 50s and 60s, and so I had an appreciation for Turner Classic Movies, and then I just started reading about Charlie Chaplin, and I saw actually some of his last movies. That were talkies, that they actually talked and stuff in, and I thought he was fascinating. And then I was looking for ideas to build my resume in the film world, and so I put together a documentary, mm-hmm. and just did it. Mostly to see if I could do. I do a lot of things to see if I can do it. I write books because, this is going to sound stupid, but I have a friend of a friend who was writing a book, and every time I would see them, every couple of months, for years, I would say, "How's the book?" And they're like, "Oh, I'm still working on it, but it's going good." And after 5 years, they didn't put out a book.
Sounds like most people I know.
Well, I decided, it can't be that hard to write a book, and so I sat down one day and wrote a book called The Beaumonts, and it's a kind of like a Dallas or Dynasty type, fiction thriller thing, and I wrote the whole thing in like, I don't know, 2 weeks. I wrote like 300 pages in 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I thought, this is like not a big deal to like write a book, and I put it out. It sold out of print, but it went to number 1 on Amazon, and it wasn't like a big deal. And I was like, all these people who, they're writing books and like they're doing it for years and years. I was like, it's just not that hard. But I wanted to see if I could do it. So the Charlie Chaplin thing kind of fit into that also. Like, can I do it? And then I wrote the chapter for The Change. And then I also have another book that I wrote the forward to. It's called Success Factor X, and it's written by Jill Lieberman and Sean Kanan. Sean Kanan's a big movie television star, big soap opera star, and Jill Lieberman's like a big motivational speaker. And they wrote a book, and it's called Success Factor X, Inspiration, Wisdom, and Advice from 50 of America's Best. And basically it's 50 famous people writing their idea of what success is. And it's got famous directors, and it's got actors and athletes, and like Mark Cuban wrote something in it, I think, from Shark Tank. And so it's got all these famous people, and they asked me to write the foreword, and my foreword is actually longer than some of the articles.
Wow.
And the first week the book was out, it was number 1 on Amazon for all categories.
That is amazing. Wow. And of course, think about Charlie Chaplin as well, too. The one thing that stood out, not just being a great actor and just being very funny, he also spearheaded the movement of starting up United Artists with Mary Pickford and several others, too, because they got tired of being owned by Hollywood. They would pretty much want to call their own shots.
Yep, and I live in Palm Springs, and in Palm Desert we have the Mary Pickford Theater. There's a big theater here, which I guess is closed now, but we have the Mary Pickford Theater here, which is very cool.
And of course, I have to say, too, that you also do an offshoot of writing, and also you're also director of operations for Spectrum Music Group, and maybe tell us a bit about that.
Spectrum Music Group is the largest independent record label in the world. It's SpectrumMusicGroup.com. I basically ran a lot like the urban divisions of everything, and I still do tons of stuff with them. All the time. I don't do it full time all the time like I used to, because I started my own PR firm, and I just got to be too busy and too much to do. But I still do all kinds of stuff, and actually they're like a client of my PR firm also. Okay. All right. Sounds good. And of course, speaking of PR, we'll talk about your World Star PR and also the Jimmy Star Show. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look on a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, check out the latest novel by well-known award-winning author Mia Motion Zia of No Time for Love, called Missing, an extraordinary relationship between two ordinary people based on real-life events that go through 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and the ones you love will be the first to go missing. Check out the book on Amazon and other retailers, available on all formats today. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com and over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Amazon, Audible, and coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Also heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with the host of the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, CEO of World Star PR, Director of Operations, Spectrum Music Group, and creator of Jimmy Star Designs, and author, actor Jimmy Star here on Mike Wagner Show. Of course, the big star in just about everything by Jimmy, and he does such a great job. And, we've been talking about the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell for quite some time, and let's have you talk about how you got started, and was it been on, 15 seasons? I mean, that is amazing. Kudos to you guys. Thank you. Yes, so I'm on my 15th year. It started in September, and I basically was going through Craigslist looking for jobs under the TV film category, and there was an ad saying that they would like to looking for interns. They were looking for interns to work at the radio station, and so I called the guy up and said, "Hey, my name's Jimmy Star, and I would love to host a radio show. I had experience because when they did Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, the radio version of it from Y100 and Z100 in New York, I was the fashion guy for it.
Wow, amazing.
So I had a lot of radio experience, and well, not a lot, but I was on every day for like 3 or 4 months, and it was fun. So I said I don't really want to be an intern. I said, but I'd like to host a show. I know a lot of people. I can bring a lot of famous people to it, and I'm great at promoting, and so he gave it a shot. And after and it was a 50-minute show, and after our second week, so many people tuned in that they offered me a 2-hour time slot that's an hour and 50 minutes long, and I've been doing it ever since.
Wow, that is amazing. And how'd you first meet up with Ron Russell?
I met Ron he's my husband now, but I actually met him in a mall.
Oh, really?
I tried to pick him up in a mall, and he blew me off. And then I saw him in the mall again a couple of weeks later, and I did the same thing. And this time we talked a little bit, and we started talking, and did an acting project together, and then kind of like the rest is history.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, you can say the rest is history, and congratulations to you two, by the way, too. So
thank you. Yeah. So we just had our 8th wedding anniversary. We've been together 9 years, and everything is good. And he's my co-host in the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. And when it was just the Jimmy Star Show, we were the biggest show on the East Coast of the United States, because I was broadcasting out of Florida, and we averaged about 1 million to 1.5 million listeners weekly. And then we brought him on, and within like a year of having him on, we went from 1 million to like 4 million, and now we're getting close to 5 million.
Wow, that is amazing. 5 million, 6 million. I think I'm starting to lose count here. So, of course, you had a lot of great guests. And who would you say your favorite guests were? And probably I'd probably say like the funniest story, the most embarrassing, or what was that one episode of that show that really stood out for you, that made you either laugh, crack up, or cringe like, oh my God, anything like that?
Our biggest show is John Barrowman.
Mm-hmm.
John Barrowman plays Captain Jack Harkness in Doctor Who.
Mm-hmm.
He's on it now too, and then he had his own spin-off show called Torchwood. And when we brought him on to the show, as soon as the screen, because it was video now, because we went from radio to video once Rod came on, because he didn't want to do radio.
Mm-hmm.
And so he came on, and as soon as the screen opened, he had a dressed with all kinds of makeup and everything on blow up doll, and he was like French kissing it with his tongue and everything, and that's how he opened the show, because that's how he wanted to be introduced. So we didn't know what he was going to do. He just said, make sure you're recording, the whole time. And so as soon as he came on, he was like making out with like a blow up doll, and it was hilarious.
Oh, I guess that takes on a different meaning. Pepe Le Pew, where the heck are you?
And literally we literally got 10 million plays on that show.
Oh my gosh, 10 million.
So that's our number one show that we've ever had. It's on YouTube. It's a great show. I get a lot of plays as a radio show, even though we do radio and video both. And so he's probably like the best guest. But I've been fortunate. I have a bucket list of people that I would like to get that I haven't gotten yet. But like all my favorite actors, we had Lance Henriksen on, we had Doug Bradley, we had Malcolm McDowell, and we've had almost every musical group ever. Like tomorrow I have somebody from Earth, Wind & Fire, and I have Sita Garrett, who wrote Man in the Mirror for Michael Jackson, and she's like a 2-time Academy Award winner. And then I have Glass Tiger, which is one of my favorite bands, coming on tomorrow. So I've been very fortunate in being able to book really good guests, but I still haven't, like, because I really want Molly Ringwald and Charlize Theron are like my 2 bucket lists, and I can't get either one of those yet. I'll get them eventually. I just can't get them yet.
Well, you have to go through the backpack, and when it comes to Glass Tiger, just don't forget me when I'm gone. Think about that.
Yes. Yeah. I really do, though. I love them so much, and so I'm super excited to have them on.
Yes, that's right, too. And I think we had a debate about the one dead background. I think that was Bryan Adams, and I thought, no wonder I like those guys so much. Bryan Adams is behind the whole thing, and I've got a bunch of my friends who are big Bryan Adams fans. And I had an interesting Yes, that's right. And I have an interesting story to tell about Bryan Adams, that when he opened up for Journey in Chicago, I thought, oh, Journey's going to be a big thing. Bryan Adams, I have to say this, that he blew Journey away. I mean, he got up, did the whole album from from the first song all the way down, and then when he got up on stage, when you like it, fuck you, F you, and just shouted it, and he just swung all over stage. I'm like, dude, you're like the next best thing. So
I'm actually going to have, I think, because I asked Brian Adams and he said he would come on. So eventually I'm probably going to have Brian Adams on the show.
Oh, that's amazing. And keep us up to date on when they're going to have it. And going from Jimmy Star Show to Ron Russell. Oh, you know something? I forgot to ask you. Where can we find your show at?
We're on all just like you were on all the platforms. So we're on Spotify, Pandora, SoundCloud. We're very popular on SoundCloud, iTunes, which I guess was Apple Podcasts now, Google Play. Actually, hold on. Let me look at this little piece of paper right here. I got here. We're on, we're syndicated. So we're on our home station, W4CY Radio. We're also on K4HD Radio in LA, Jackalope Radio in St. Louis, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Audio Boom, Podomatic, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spreaker, Apple TV, Podbean, Spotify, Pandora. And then the video TV show can be seen on Comcast, YouTube, Vimeo, and JSW TV, which is my blog. I have a blog. It's number 50 of the top 100 entertainment blogs in the world. It's at JimmyStarsWorld.com, and we have the show that streams on there also.
Wow, that is amazing. I'm still writing it down as we speak here. So,
and then I'm on a bunch of other platforms, but I just picked out the biggest ones. Like you kind of like pick out, you say 30, but you pick out the biggest ones, and we're on a lot of the same ones.
Mm-hmm. It's funny too because we talk about platforms and everything, and I was going through my Google one day. I just did a little hobby here. I type in the Mike Wagner Show, and here it comes up like platforms I'd never heard of. Himalaya has been popping up, and that's why I've been promoting. Geo7 was popping up, and I think there was Castbox, and I think there was Backtracks, and oh gosh, I think there was like quite a few that popped up I did not inquire about. So I know how that goes, and of course, I guess by the time this airs, we'll probably be added on to about
10 more.
Yeah, I was just going to say 3, 5, 10, maybe 20. And when this keeps getting recycled, these internet shows, which is really nice, they can stand for a long time. By the time, this gets aired, 20, 50, 100 will get added on. So, and of course, it branches off. And of course, speaking of branching as well, too, you've got the crown jewel of all. You're the CEO of World Star PR. And tell us more about this fantastic PR agency you run, and how can people get on your PR list?
So, yeah, we got named the best entertainment publicist in the United States. Actually, all the information, if you go to JimmyStarsWorld.com and click the tab that says World Star PR, all the information is up there. But we work with I work with Eileen Shapiro, who's a New York Times bestselling author. She's fabulous, and we work together, and we bring on all different kinds of clients. Basically, anything that's entertainment involved. So you could be an author, you could be a writer, you could be a filmmaker, a band, a singer, songwriter, model. Pretty much anything that's is somewhat entertainment based, because most of our connections and stuff are in entertainment, and you can reach us in any of our social medias. She's Eileen Shapiro 33, I think, and I'm Dr. Jimmy Star with the DR Jimmy Star, and we work with all kinds of really cool people. We work with Scott. Well, actually, a lot of people that you've had on your show: Scott Page from Pink Floyd, and Leland Sklar, and Kenny Aronoff, who was the drummer for John Cougar Mellencamp for 30 years or something.
I think it was 17, but we'll just say 30, just in case Kenny is listening. It's like he's probably pumped up on coffee, but he'll feel like 30 years. So let's make him feel proud. 30 years. So
yeah, that works. And so we work with a lot of cool musicians, a lot of cool actors. It changes. We don't make people sign contracts so they can come on for month to month, so they can come on for a month just to promote a project. And so we've worked with all kinds of really great big people, and it changes all the time. I think we're possibly going to be working with Rick Wakeman soon, who I believe is the keyboardist and founding member of the Moody Blues. Mm-hmm. And he was also in Yes and Asia and all those huge rock bands. And so, and you can follow us on Twitter too. It's at World Star PR.
And of course, if we have any artists, musicians, singers, actors that are listening and they want to contact you, and how do they do that?
They can email us. It's worldstarpublicrelations@gmail.com, or if you follow at Dr. Jimmy Star on Twitter, my email is actually posted on my site, and on my profile, and it's Jimmy Star Contact, JIMMYSTAR Contact @gmail.com.
And don't forget to do that today if you're looking to get into show business and be promoted. We're here with the King of Cool, Jimmy Star. of the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, CEO of WorldStar PR, Director of Operations, Spectrum Music Group, also Jimmy Star Designs, also author here on the Mike Wagner Show. And Jimmy, just a few more things. We love to have you back on in 2021 and beyond. And, with Ron Russell, or Ron can go solo, or maybe get on your show, or maybe other shows. I mean, the possibilities are just endless. What can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond, Jimmy?
Oh, hopefully my show, like yours, will keep growing, and it'll keep getting bigger. And I've got hopefully 4 films that will get done this year, and then I'll probably act in a few films. Ron's going to be in a bunch of films, and hopefully, build my clientele for the WorldStar PR to instead of being the best, entertainment publicist in the U.S., I want to be the best entertainment publicist in the world.
Mm-hmm. And there's no problem with that. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career, Jimmy?
My biggest influence?
Correct, yes.
Let's see. That's a hard one.
I'm sorry. Did I stump you? I didn't mean to.
That's so funny. I don't know that I have I have people that I'm very fond of, and they probably are not all that considered to be okay nowadays, but believe it or not, when I got out of college, I flew to New York City and took pictures of everything that Donald Trump owned back in the day, because I wanted to be like he is in real estate. I wanted to be in fashion, and I wanted to be this big magnet. And I have autographed books and everything that I bought, many, many years ago, way before all this crap that's going on now.
Mm-hmm.
But he was, Calvin Klein was a big influence for me, in fashion, and Donald Trump in business, and in the movie industry. I think some of the people who I thought were good influences are not good influences, because Harvey Weinstein was a mega powerhouse making all the movies, and I didn't know when I was 21 years old that he was a creep.
I think there's a lot of them that came out too. It's I thought Kevin Spacey was the best actor on the planet until all the crap came out. And I think there was also, you're right, there was also a few that you thought everybody were great, they were fantastic, and all of a sudden all the stuff comes out with this the Me Too and all that, and they just get sunk almost 6 feet under career wise. And I thought,
right,
wow.
everybody kind of disappeared. I mean, Steven Spielberg is a big influence, I think, because he's accomplished a lot in the movie industry. I'd love to be able to produce, and I would never be a director because I'm not a director, but he's also a producer, so I would like to be able to have some credits like that. And for me, the biggest thing is just to treat people the way you want to be treated. Try to find people that have the same kind of mindset, so you can work together where everybody benefits. My whole thing in my social media and promoting and people that we work with is that it has to be beneficial for everybody, and it can't just be beneficial for one. So if you're a team player and you want to help me, and I'm going to help you, and we're going to grow together, that's terrific. But if you just want me to do stuff for you and you never want to do anything back to help me, then you're probably not going to ever make it onto my team.
Mm-hmm. And that's very good advice as well too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
You know what? Do what you want to do. I started in this business super late, not doing everything that I wanted to do because I had a regular people job, and everybody told me, you won't be able to support yourself. But I think that if you have a dream and you want to do something, you're going to regret it if you don't try. And maybe you won't make it. Maybe you'll fail. Not everything I've ever done has been great, but anything I've ever wanted to accomplish, I tried to accomplish. And I've succeeded more than I've failed, and I think that I'm happy because at least even in the things that I failed, I know that I put my best foot effort, and I don't have to be thinking about it when I'm 80 years old going, hey, I always wanted to do this and I didn't do it. I try everything that I want to do, and I've been fortunate that I've been successful at most of them.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important as well, too. I know of people that have gotten to be 70, 80 years old and had some regrets. I knew of some people, very close, and some people disagreed with what I did, but I just simply say that you never know until you try, and you're going to look back and say you may have failed, but at least you tried, and at least you did it. I think that's very important.
I know, I think so, too. I think everybody's got to do it, and everybody's got a different dream, so.
Mm-hmm. And that's rightfully so. Once again, the King of Cool, Jimmy Star, host of the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, CEO of World Star PR, Director of Operations for Spectrum Music Group, creator of Jimmy Star Designs, and author of Charlie Chaplin, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Jimmy, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely terrific. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. Don't forget to keep in touch. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people check out your works?
So the best place to go is find everything is just go to JimmyStarsWorld.com. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I'm at Dr. Jimmy Star. I'm Jimmy Star everywhere else. But if you go to JimmyStarsWorld.com, it has everything. It has all the social media and everything that I do is on that website.
That is fantastic. Once again, Jimmy, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And you've been very, very fantastic, very helpful, and everybody loves you. That's what I say. And all the best in everything you do.
Thank you so much, and thanks so much for having me on the show. Bye, everybody. Everybody have a great. Oh, I was going to say have a great holiday, but I don't know if this will even air before that. So if it doesn't air before that, you guys have a good one and have a good life, everybody. And here's to a great 2021.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, Custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hi, this is Mia Mohsen Zia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing: Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People, based upon a real-life relationship, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon. Do read it. I'm sure you'll love it. It's www.miamohsenzia.com and www.amazon.com/Mia Mohsen Zia.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.